Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the week ahead analysis. We're going to look at the strength and weakness and what could be the charts to watch for the week. And it's actually quite an interesting end to the week because by the time we did the Forex market wrap video, the dollar actually gained some strength at the end of the week, and a little bit of risk off came into the markets, and we saw stock markets decline, and that's why I think we've seen this strength come into dollar and yen, especially on this strength meter in here, because you can see here that the strength meter showing dollar as +2, yen +2, and then we've got the CAD that was the weakest currency of last week. So I'm going to be focusing a little bit on this CAD against those safe haven currencies like the dollar and the yen, and we're going to have a little look at the stock markets. I'm actually going to start on the stock market, and the reason being is because the dollar index usually falls. Dollar index, the Nasdaq usually falls, or stock markets in general usually fall through this period. If I actually bring in a heat map, we can see here that if I was just to highlight the Nasdaq just through there, you can see September is usually a really poor performing month for the market before we kind of head towards the Santa rally in sort of November or start of October through then to January. So really speaking, we could see a short-term drop in the market on the Nasdaq. Now, if the Nasdaq's going to fall, and just looking at this weekly time frame, if it does fall and if it falls to this previous structure area in here, then that could offer some risk off in the market, and we actually could see the dollar and yen strengthen in the short term for the next couple of weeks before we see the market continue to push to the upside. So that's actually quite an interesting thing to have a little look at if you do look at the stock markets. I think if the Nasdaq was to come back down into around about this 15,000 area, then I think it would be a strong possibility of a buy through there. So keep an eye on the Nasdaq. This could be one to watch. And just going on to the dollar index, this was that little bit of strength that we were talking about. We literally was wondering if we were getting lower highs and wondering if price could continue down and even break to the downside. However, instead, now that we've formed this kind of bullish candlestick within that close, it could suggest that the sellers aren't as strong as what we would expect, especially if we break out of these highs now. If we take out these highs, then we could see the dollar index move much higher, back up into sort of the $94 area, which would be really interesting to see if that happens. If not, and we see maybe a fake out here, then we could still see that dollar push to the downside. Going on to dollar CAD then, dollar CAD, super interesting. The Canadian dollar has weakened, dollar strengthened slightly. If we look at the weekly time frame, technically on a weekly perspective, we are getting higher highs and higher lows. Strong bullish close here on the weekly now. Is that suggesting that we're actually going to see another move back up to this zone of 129.70? So if I just draw that out properly, it's just this zone just through here. Is price going to end up getting all the way back into this zone? So what I'll be looking for is some trend there. If we do start to see some higher highs, higher lows on the daily, that could be an opportunity to start buying dollar CAD in line with that CAD weakness. CAD yen's an interesting one to watch as well, although I do like the monthly sort of overall trend here. We technically need the daily and the weekly to change trend in order to start buying that market. So it'd be really interesting to see if we start to get that. However, at the moment, we're still technically making lower lows and lower highs. We've come into the previous structure, we've bounced. However, this bearish candlestick here is suggesting that we could see another decline back into sort of this 85 zone. And if that's going to happen, what we should see is lower lows and lower highs. So if the market, for instance, rallied back up, rejected the previous structure area, formed a bearish close, we could assume that we're coming all the way back down to retest this zone at 85.40. So keep an eye on these markets this week. This has been the week ahead analysis. I hope you enjoyed the analysis. If you did, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some more regular Forex content, and I will catch you in the next video.